Here it is, the event segment or EVN segment. This is my least favorite of all the segments. You will develop a favorite segment, I hope, in time. The EVN segment is used to capture detailed time and person information about the specific event that triggered the message. The EVN segment is a required segment in ADT messages, and the event segment is always the second segment in an ADT message. Remember, segment sequence matters. What's the first segment? Well, it would be MSH, because MSH is always required and it's always the first segment. If it's an ADT, EVN will be the second segment. EVN2 is a required field. EVN2 contains the date time that the triggering event was recorded in the sending system. EVN2 is the only required field in an event segment. You just got to have EVN2. That's all you were required by HL7 to have. That'll be important later on. For example, let's say a patient is being transferred from the ER to the ICU. That would generate an ADT AO2 message. EVN2 would tell you what time the registration clerk entered the transfer information into the admitting system. EVN6 is not a required field, however most places choose to use it. EVN6 contains the date and time that the triggering event actually occurred. Okay, so that's a little different than EVN2. EVN2 is when the event was recorded in the sending system. EVN6, when it actually happened. For example, let's say a patient being transferred from the ER to the ICU. That would generate the ADT AO2 message. EVN6 would tell you what time the physician nurse entered the transfer order into the hospital information system. So in an EVN message, you're going to have 3 different times. And to review the timeline for an ADT message, you want to look at these 3 fields. EVN6, when the trigger event happened. EVN2, when the trigger event was recorded in the sending system. MSH7, when the message actually got sent. 3 different times that 3 important actions happened in a sequence. Alright, so let's look at the EVN segment in action, and let's see what time these events occurred, and let's see if we can learn to interpret this and make some conclusions based on what we see from this message. Okay, so what daytime did the event actually happen? Well, that's going to be in EVN6, so EVN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this event happened 2007, January 10th, 1410, 2:10 in the afternoon is when this event happened. What is this event? Well, this event is an ADT AO4, and AO4 is a patient registration. So this registration went from the ADT system to the lab system. So we know that the patient was registered for a lab procedure, and 1410 is when the event happened. And what is the event? The event is the patient checked in. They came up to the desk and they said, "Hey, I'm here for my lab test." What daytime did the event get recorded in the system? Well, it got recorded 2007, January 10th at 1500. That's 3 p.m. So the patient checked in, then later on the ADT message got sent. What daytime did the message get sent? It actually got sent same day, 1501. So patient checked in, later on the registration was placed, and then the message was actually processed by the system at 1501. Is this facility using more than the required field in the event segment? What do you think? Yes! Remember, the only required field in the EVN segment is EVN2. The only thing you need to have is EVN and EVN2. All of the rest of these could be blank. So yes, they're using a bunch more required fields than in what is required in an EVN segment. So here's the real question. How long did this person wait from arrival to actually being registered in the system? Well, a little math will easily tell me that. The patient checked in at 1410, and they didn't actually get their registration placed in the system until 1500. So they waited 50 minutes. 50. They sat after they checked in before their registration was processed and sent to the lab. So that's a little sleuthing for you based on our friend the EVN segment. Thank you for watching.